Welcome to the show, WWE Nation. This is SmackDown Spotlight, your update center for matches and news. Hit that bell and let's begin. What began as a seemingly ordinary segment on WWE SmackDown quickly exploded into a night of chaos, drama, and unforgettable tension. Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Nick Aldis, and referee Dan Angler became the center of a whirlwind of emotions, apologies, accusations, and high-stakes confrontations that left fans in the arena and watching at home on the edge of their seats. What unfolded was far beyond a typical SmackDown segment, blending personal history, psychological warfare, and shocking announcements that have now set the stage for a career-defining showdown in Berlin. This night redefined what SmackDown drama can look like. Setting the stage. Tension in the arena. The night began with Nick Aldis and referee Dan Angler walking toward the ring, each step heavy with anticipation. The crowd immediately sensed that something extraordinary was about to happen. Energy in the arena shifted, moving from excited chatter to almost palpable tension. Every fan could feel that the events about to unfold were going to be unpredictable. Drew McIntyre's entrance only intensified the moment. As he stepped into the ring, the atmosphere became electric. Screams, cheers, and gasps filled the arena as everyone waited for the inevitable clash. SmackDown had set the stage for a confrontation that would not just be physical, but psychological, layered with emotional stakes. Aldis addresses the chaos. Nick Aldis wasted no time highlighting the escalating situation. While he didn't place the entire blame on Drew, he quickly shifted focus to Cody Rhodes, accusing him of pushing events too far. The crowd could sense the underlying tension in Aldis's words as he tried to assert control over the chaos. By calling out Cody, Aldis emphasized that the events had spiraled beyond any individual's intent. His role was crucial in reminding the audience that even in moments of chaos, responsibility and accountability were key. Fans appreciated the layered storytelling, understanding that this confrontation was more than just heated words. It carried real stakes for each participant. The revelation, Drew's assault on Dan Angler. The situation took an even darker turn when Aldis revealed that Drew McIntyre had assaulted Dan Angler, the referee. The arena went silent as fans processed the gravity of the statement. This revelation elevated the confrontation, transforming it from a typical backstage argument to a serious narrative moment with legal and personal consequences. Drew didn't shy away from the accusation. Instead, he handed over the fine to Aldis with a smirk, showing a mix of accountability and defiance. This act highlighted Drew's complex character, someone capable of acknowledging mistakes while maintaining a strong, dominant persona, a balance that added depth to the storyline. A heartfelt apology. In a surprising turn, Drew issued a sincere apology to Dan Angler regarding the Claymore GM incident. He admitted that the events had weighed heavily on him, keeping him awake at night. Dan accepted the apology, providing a moment of reconciliation that briefly calmed the escalating tension. Even Nick Aldis acknowledged Drew's gesture, highlighting a rare instance of accountability within a chaotic night. This moment humanized Drew, showing fans that even dominant figures wrestle with guilt and responsibility. It also added emotional complexity to the segment, creating a layered narrative where conflict and compassion coexisted, keeping fans deeply invested. Delving into personal struggles, Drew didn't stop at a simple apology. He addressed Dan Angler's personal struggles, revealing that becoming a referee was the result of circumstances rather than choice. By highlighting Dan's unrealized dream of being a wrestler, Drew added layers to the story, showing the audience that personal history can influence professional interactions. This moment blurred the line between personal and professional, adding emotional weight to what could have otherwise been a simple conflict. Fans were drawn in, not just by physical threats, but by the underlying human drama that gave the confrontation depth and resonance. Shifting tone, from apology to menace. Just when the segment seemed to have calmed, Drew shifted his tone dramatically. He called Dan a coward and a corporate stooge, daring him to act in the ring. This pivot from heartfelt apology to psychological provocation kept the audience on edge. The dramatic change highlighted Drew's unpredictability and ability to manipulate both his opponents and the crowd. Fans were electrified, realizing that the confrontation was far from over. This shift demonstrated that in WWE storytelling, characters can oscillate between empathy and aggression, creating dynamic tension that captivates viewers and heightens anticipation for future developments. Cody Rhodes enters the chaos. Cody Rhodes' entrance added another layer of intensity. His music hit like a thunderclap, and he stormed down to the ring, reigniting the emotional fire. The arena erupted with energy as fans anticipated confrontation. Cody's presence instantly shifted the narrative from tension to full-blown chaos. Nick Aldis attempted to maintain control, but Drew only escalated the provocation. Every word and gesture from Drew was calculated to push Cody further, referencing past attacks and personal history. This entrance demonstrated how storylines in WWE are carefully layered, with each character's timing and actions amplifying the drama. Taunts and psychological warfare. Drew's taunts towards Cody pushed the segment into high psychological intensity. He referenced past incidents, including the infamous tour bus attack, and even invoked Cody's family, heightening the emotional stakes. Every comment was designed to provoke, creating a tense atmosphere that left the audience on the edge of their seats. This psychological warfare added depth to the narrative, showing that conflicts in WWE are not just physical, they are mental and emotional battles as well. Fans were drawn into the drama, understanding that the stakes extended beyond the ring and into personal and professional pride. The shocking stipulation. The segment reached its apex when Drew announced 3 stages of Hell Match in Berlin, set to determine supremacy once and for all, as this stipulation transformed the ongoing chaos into a clear narrative trajectory, setting the stage for a career-defining showdown. The location, Berlin, added international stakes, suggesting a high-impact event with global significance. Fans reacted with excitement and anticipation, understanding that this was more than a simple match. It was a culmination of months of tension, personal history, and emotional buildup. This announcement cemented the segment's impact as one of the most significant in recent WWE memory. Cody's impulsive action. Even after agreeing to the match stipulation, Cody broke free from the confrontation in an impulsive move, elbowing Nick Aldis. This action added unpredictability, keeping fans unsure of what would happen next. It also demonstrated Cody's fiery character, willing to challenge authority and escalate tensions. This unpredictability enhanced the storytelling, showing that character decisions in WWE are influenced by emotion and personal pride, creating dynamic interactions that keep audiences engaged and invested in the unfolding drama. The devastating Claymore Drew closed the night with a devastating Claymore kick in the center of the ring, standing tall with the championship belt over Cody Rhodes. This image became the defining moment of the night, leaving fans in shock and disbelief. The physicality punctuated the psychological tension, providing a visual climax that reinforced Drew's dominance. It also left questions unanswered, creating anticipation for the Berlin showdown. By blending physical power, psychological manipulation, and narrative stakes, WWE crafted a segment that would resonate with fans for weeks, setting the stage for a historic confrontation. Implications for Berlin and beyond. The events of tonight have major implications for the upcoming Berlin match. Who will have the psychological edge? Who is truly responsible for the chaos? How will Cody's impulsive actions affect his strategy? Fans are left speculating, creating community discussions and theories that enhance engagement. The segment also redefined Drew's character as both dominant and psychologically complex, while Cody's actions reinforced his unpredictable nature. These elements ensure that the Berlin Showdown will carry enormous narrative weight, blending physicality, strategy, and emotion for a career-defining chapter in WWE history. Conclusion: a night of unprecedented chaos. Tonight on WWE SmackDown, redefined what chaos and drama can look like in professional wrestling. A routine confrontation evolved into a night filled with apologies, accusations, psychological warfare, and career-altering stipulations. Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Nick Aldis, and Dan Angler created a layered, emotionally charged story that will shape SmackDown for weeks to come. With the 3 stages of hell, match in Berlin looming, fans are left on edge, eagerly awaiting resolution. The stakes, tension, and unpredictability have never been higher, making this one of the most memorable SmackDown segments in recent memory.